Good day, my people. It's roughly about 4 a.m. and I'm only up because I had to change my son's diaper. I just want to share a story because it's just been weighing real heavy on my soul and on my heart. And it has me questioning, is there a real thing called friends? Because envy seems to overtake how people may see you. When you put the work in and find yourself elevating, others that won't put the work in or don't put the work in tend to have envy issues. And maybe not directly or indirectly, they show you who they really are. So let me just share a story, and once I post this, I would definitely love to get the feedback of what I'm talking about. So let me just share this story with y'all, right? So you feel me? I'm I just moved back home to my birth state. You know, I've been away for nearly 30 years, and I still kept in touch with a lot of the people that I grew up with. And now that I'm back home, I see the lack of progress and prosperity that my counterparts, and to be honest, I at this point I can't even call these people my counterparts because clearly we've been moving in two different directions. But, you know, moved my family from Washington State, that's the Northwest for some of you guys that think I'm talking about DC. No, I'm not talking about DC. I'm talking about Washington State. I'm talking about over there around Portland and California. You know, but I just moved my family from Washington State to Tennessee. And it's been an adjustment. But to just get into it, to just get into the story that I want to share, and I want you guys to let me know, am I tripping? So I got a partner of, like I said, at least 30 plus years that I reconnected with when I moved back home. Been trying to show nothing but grace because I found myself to be blessed and favored and covered by God, that when I was sharing with him some of the experiences that I done had over the past 30 years, from Tennessee to Texas to Washington to Vegas to I don't know, man. I'd have been a lot of places. I didn't travel the country, but I'm sharing some of my stories with him, and he was taking it as if it was like a challenge. Like I was saying, oh, you can't do this, and was not the case at all. Definitely wasn't trying to make the homie feel less than. But I started noticing things. I've been back home for like 8 months now. You feel me? So I started noticing things, and I ain't gonna throw the homie under the bus. You feel me? Because I ain't gonna do no name dropping or nothing like that. But I started noticing things, and I started looking at where he was status wise in life. And I'm throwing a little barbecue or whatever, you know, me, the wife, and the kids, we grilling, invite the homie over, and it's plenty of food, plenty of food. But at the time, we had just started cooking, and I didn't know that the homie invited his BM. So at the time, the only thing that had been grilled or cooked were some smoked sausages, right? So it was three adults at the time before he invited his BM, and we only, we try to utilize portion control. So we only had so much already on the grill. I didn't know the homie was going to invite his baby mama, but nevertheless, she pulled up. She was here all of about 6 minutes. So, we make her a plate based upon what was already made, right? So afterwards, she take her plate, and then she bounce out. And then the homie gonna come at me on some, I can't believe all y'all did was gave her one smoked sausage. And I'm sitting up here like, well, bro, I didn't account for her being here. So as well as the rest of the food that we was making was still being prepped. So, we got ribs, chicken, shish kebabs, corn, coleslaw, like we planning on a meal. But I just didn't know you was gonna invite somebody. If I knew that, then I would have made sure that we set up everything for whoever I was expecting to be here. Right? So that situation happens, and I'm being cordial. We pouring up. We done put some in the air, and the homie just can't let it go that his baby mama only got one smoked sausage. Now, he got a son, and he was like, well, shoot, she was probably trying to get enough food to go and feed my son too. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, bro, that sounds like a you problem. You wanted your son to eat? Should have brought him over. Should have brought him with you. You wanted your baby mama to eat? Should have let me know. I'd have prepared for it. I'm not selfish. However, that's not how it played out. So for like maybe an hour and a half, this guy just keep talking about This smoked sausage, this smoked sausage. I can't believe you just gave her one. I can't believe you just gave her one. And I'm sitting up here like, bro, do you want me to make some more smoked sausages for you guys? Because I ain't tripping. I can do that, man. It's really not that deep for me. But versus him hearing me offer to make more just so he could take it elsewhere, he ain't hear none of that. And now keep in mind, like I said, this is all my money. This is all my food. I have a household of 5 people myself. So to add you, your baby mama, and your son to my table is as generous as I could possibly get. And like I said, I've been blessed, so I was willing to share the fortune, the good fortune that I've been blessed with. This is how he repaid me. I'm cleaning my pool, and he decides that he wants to share photos and videos of when him and his baby mama was happy together. All right, cool. But then he turns around and he shows my wife, not my girlfriend, not some chick I'm dating, not that hoe over there, my wife, one of his personal sex tapes. And so I'm sitting up here like, at the time I didn't know that this had transpired. Like I said, I'm cleaning the pool. My wife tending to the food, she in and out the house, tending to the grill and everything. And I'm sitting up here not knowing that, in my opinion, you're trying to press my wife. And so my wife waits until after he leaves to tell me what he did. Now, shout out to my wife, because she know normally if you'd have told me what he had did, like in that moment, it was gonna go bad. Because that level of disrespect, I have to address. So my wife tells me after the fact, after it happens, that it happened. So I ain't tripping, I ain't tripping. So once she told me what he did, I was just like, all right, I'll deal with it. But I wanted to, kind of be mature and delicate about it. I didn't want to just pop off, just rah, 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 I ain't want to do that. So I'm sitting up here, I'm trying to give it a few days, and I'm thinking over it. I'm thinking over it. And to be honest with you, I was really just heartbroken because this is a guy I got love for. But like I said, envy is a cold thing. Like I said, I'm in a 4-bedroom house, stupid front and backyard, just I'm blessed. The homie, on the other hand, is nearly 50. I'm nearly 50. We both like about 47, 48. And I see the difference in our life choices. Now, I told the homie because he started getting too comfortable in the aspect of he do dope. I don't do dope. I don't snort cocaine. Like, deepest as my drug use has ever went was liquor and weed. If that couldn't get me there, I just didn't need it. But nevertheless, I'm looking at the homie. The homie, like I say, nearly 50, staying with his mama. And I had to really think about it on some, maybe I'm showing him too much in the aspect of this is what I've worked for, what I've earned, what I've done in the past 30 years that I've been gone for me to have the abundance of the things that I have. So he decides that when I wasn't looking, he want to show my wife his sex tape. So when she told me about it, I'm pissed instantly. And because I owe my family a responsibility to be responsible, I didn't want to just blow up, because I ain't gonna lie, that's how people get beat up around me. Hey man, look, step on my toes, I sock you in the nose. Is what it is. But I'm sitting up here, I was like, I'm just gonna, take a step back. I ain't gonna say nothing about it right now, because I'm trying to think about how I should respond. And personally, I wanted to blow his life up because I'm just trying to figure out why would you pull your personal sex tapes out and show my wife? She didn't solicit that. She didn't ask you, ooh, let me see how you screw. She didn't ask that. So, like I said, I'm chilling one day. It's about 3 days later. I'm chilling, and the homie hit me, and he was like, "Bro, we good, bro?" Now, keep in mind, I ain't said nothing about this situation. I ain't said nothing about it. And he was like, "Oh, bro, we good, bro?" And I'm sitting up here like, "Yeah, bro, we good, bro. Shoot, I'm just chilling. I'm taking care of my new baby. I got a 5-month-old daughter. And I want y'all to keep that in mind. My wife just had my daughter 5 months ago, right? So I'm looking at the scenario in the aspect of, all right, bro, like clearly you find my wife attractive. Understood. I find my wife attractive. However, you're encroaching on me because why would you show my wife your sex tape? Now, I know I'm not tripping, but I would like to hear what people would say. Am I tripping? So he calls me asking if we good, and I'm trying to be cool, right? I'm trying to be cool. I'm laying in my movie room. I'm laying in the theater and everything, and me and my daughter, we chilling. My other two sons, they run around the house doing whatever it is that they want to do because we got it like that. So he keep trying to press me though in the aspect of, oh man, we got a problem? Like, we got a problem? And I'm sitting up here like, bro, chill. Because, like I said, how I wanted to address the situation was, as petty as it may sound, I was going to wait till they pull back up him and his baby mama. And then I was just going to throw it out there and say, hey, man, show your baby mama that video you showed my wife of you clapping her cheeks. And let's see if she going to be okay with you showing y'all intimacy to another woman that let you claim you ain't trying to manipulate or get close to. So I felt like it was snake energy. Now, because he kept trying to press me, I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's get into it then. And I just asked, I said, okay, bro, you want to know why I ain't really rocking with you right now? It's because I'm trying to understand why you felt that it was okay for you to show my wife your sex tape. And I asked two questions. I said, why did you feel like that was okay? And what was your intentions behind doing that? He gonna say, oh man, well shoot, man, all you talk about is fighting and fucking. Okay. I got you. But I ain't never showed you none of my sex tapes. I ain't never pulled my cap out on your baby mama. I would never do nothing like that, man. It's just so distasteful and foul. So, you know, I'm asking him, why would you do that, bro? Why would you do that to me? Then I sit up there and asked him, I said, hey, bro. I said, hey, man, look, you disrespected my house. You offended my wife. And you offended me. Bro, you hurt my feelings doing that. Because I had genuine love for you. And I said, bro, why you can't just apologize? He gonna tell me I'm over-exaggerating the situation. And maybe he'll apologize if I let him explain himself, even though really ain't no explanation outside of, nah, nigga, you attracted to my wife, my nigga. And you tried to pull a slick move thinking that she was gonna, be interested in your fat ass? So I'm sitting up here like, hey, bro, why don't you just apologize, bro? Like, I'm mature enough to where if you apologize and me and you understand that this can't never happen again, I might be able to move forward. But the cockiness in you not willing to apologize, that was crazy to me. And I'm sitting up here like, see, bro, this right here is why I told you you might need to get off that dope, bro, because that dope have you niggas on that cocaine courage, and y'all just be doing the most. And around me, that could get you hurt. That could get you beat up. I'm talking about thoroughly. So He acting as if I'm tripping because he offended me. And I'm sitting up here like, bro, if it wasn't for the fact that I ain't trying to go to jail, normally I'd have beat the brakes off of you and put my pistol in your mouth. I'd have made you strip naked and walk home. I'd have beat you with the butt of my gun. Normally. But like I said, this is a guy that I had love for. And so fast forward, I tell him, all right, bro, you don't want to apologize. You don't feel like you did anything wrong. You trying to say, oh, man, no, that video popped up on accident and I was really just scrolling through my phone, trying to show your wife some pictures. And I said, why you trying to show my wife anything? What was your intent? What was the purpose? Why you trying to show my wife anything? So, you feel me? I told my cat, I said, oh, all right, bro, look, clearly we ain't gonna get nowhere here. We, we ain't seeing eye to eye on this particular situation. So with that being the case, I was just like, you know what, bro? Hey man, look, I'm finna get off the phone. You feel me? You have a blessed day. Hope everything work out in your favor. Hope, you can turn your life around. You can start doing better. But I'm out. Right? So I hang up the phone. This nigga then calls me 27 times in a row. I'm talking about like a bitch. Y'all know how it be when you don't want to talk to somebody, but they just insisting on trying to tell you how they feel. That's what this nigga was doing. So he blew my phone up so much that now I done lost my patience. Now I'm talking to him like the bitch he acting like. So it was definitely going left. It wasn't going right. It was definitely going left. So, I'm trying not to threaten a nigga. You feel me? Because, nowadays you can't tell a nigga you gonna kill him. You just got to do it. It's a cold game, but whatever. So I'm sitting up here like, hey, bro, I'm trying to be cool, man. I'm trying to be cool because, like, about my wife or behind my wife, hey, bro, for as much land as I got, they'll never find you. So I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to be cool. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not a tough guy. I'm dangerous, which I feel like every man is or has the potential to be. But I'm not a tough guy. I don't run around here trying to punk people or, hood tough, like I'm not a big guy, I'm 5'8", 140. But nevertheless, I was trying to figure out how to handle it properly, and maturely as an adult. But this nigga keeps calling me. So eventually it gets to the point to where now I'm talking to him like he a bitch. I was trying to spare him, but now I'm talking to him like he a bitch. And I don't know if you guys can see, I got my $150, so I ain't afraid of the scuffle. So, I'm trying to remind him, hey, bro, don't forget who I am. But apparently he done forgot. So I'm sitting up here like, hey, bro, Stop calling me. Let me mentally work this out on my own time. And then maybe I can find a way to try to salvage our relationship of over 30 plus years, right? Niggas just gonna be niggas. And like I said, envy is real. So, after me and him have our fallout and everything, his little brother, he called me. I've been trying to do some business with his little brother and everything, on like some music and, on some videography type stuff. And, his brother dope, you feel me? But nevertheless, his brother called me on some, hey bro, are we cool? Are we good? And I was like, why wouldn't we be? The issue I had was with your brother. Your big brother encroached, stepped on my toes. I asked him to apologize. He refused to because he didn't feel like he did anything wrong, because let him tell it. It was an accident. Let him tell it. And I'm sitting up here like, well, bro, if it was an accident, then why you won't just apologize? But nevertheless, so his brother called me asking if me and him was good. And I'm telling him, nah, bro, we straight. I ain't got no issues with you. You feel me? By trade, I'm a barber. So, his brother, one of my clients. So I'm like, nah, bro, we good, bro. I ain't got no, I ain't tripping. You feel me? I don't know if you know exactly what your brother did that made me standoffish to him, but I'm just trying to figure out why he felt like it was okay to show my wife his sex tape. And the little brother was on some weirdo shit too. And I was like, bro, that's weird. You sitting up here talking about, oh man, man, we can, oh man, it's still salvageable, it's still fixable and all of that. And I'm sitting up here like, so he didn't show Joe, your baby mama, or your ex-wife, he didn't show her his dick. Like, why would that be okay? And why should I accept it? So, he's sitting up here trying to, basically talk me down on some, I guess since I stopped responding to his brother, which like I said, I ain't showed him nothing but favor since I've been back home. Nothing but favor. He ain't got no car. He ain't got his own place. He stayed with his mama. Baby mama got a whole house. Won't even let that nigga stay there. So, now keep in mind, I done imported my vehicle from Washington to Tennessee. You feel me? Like for those of you guys that know, it ain't cheap. But nevertheless, I didn't drove him around, help him get things together, trying to, help my man tighten up. So that's really why I was heartbroken, because I'm like, bro, I ain't been nothing but nice to you, man. I've been nothing but generous to you. Why would you do that? And then I thought about it, I was like, oh, you think I'm a bitch. Clearly you think I'm a bitch. Because you just pulled some bitch nigga shit. I wouldn't have did that. I'd have never pulled my dick out in front of your baby mama. That's somebody you got close personal ties to. Like, maybe since I've been gone, That right there is the culture that you guys done gravitated to where y'all snake each other, y'all dirty mac each other, y'all backdoor each other. You feel me? Maybe that's how you done evolved. But for you to sit up there and identify that all I talk about is how many motherfucking bitches I done took down, which has been a lot, because I'm a pretty nigga. And then how many niggas I done beat the fuck up since I've been gone, because I'm pretty violent. All right, bro, you really think it's a game, huh? Now, I'm struggling with how to move forward with this situation because, like, you'll really get slid over here. And like I said, I'm not saying this to be tough. I'm not putting no threats out there. I'm just, I'm being truthful. I'm being honest. Then, at one point, this nigga had said, he said, well, if I offended your wife, she should have checked me right then. Bro, first of all, she was actually saving you because she know how I get down. My nickname in Washington is Kenny Kickham. Because after I choke you out, I kick you in your head. That's what I do. I'm good at it. I done trained in mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, grappling, boxing, taekwondo, and karate. I'm a master of nunchucks, swords, throwing knives, and pistol play. So I'm sitting up here like, hey man, because I left home at a young age and started traveling the country, I had to make sure that I was able to protect myself. So I practiced all of these different art forms, right? And I ain't talking about watching TV. I'm talking now, I was in the gym. I was getting punched in the nose, the eye, the ear, the mouth, the gut. I've been through it. I ain't afraid of a fade. This nigga even sit up there and was like, oh man, you talking to me like you want to fight me. And I told him, I said, bro, I don't want to fight you. Cause I already know what the outcome gonna be. I'm gonna strangle your ass and then I'm gonna kick you in your head. So I'm like, bro, I don't want to fight you. That's why I'm talking to you. I don't want to fight you. And so when he said that, my wife called that nigga out and said, fight him then. This nigga gonna say, oh no, man, I'm gonna have to be on the pack, man, if I gotta fight that. Oh, okay. And I was like, hey bro, look, if you feel like you need to hit you a couple of lines of cocaine to run the Pharaoh with me, go for it, bro. You can get all that cocaine courage that you need. Outcome still gonna be the same. You gonna get folded. Now, the homie is, like I say, he built like Manny Fresh type of shit. He built like a nigga auntie type of shit. You know, um, he had got, he had got shot a few years back. So now he walk on a cane. Another reason why I'm like, bro, this ain't even. It's so one sided, my guy. I'm like, bro, I really hurt you. But I got love for you. I got love for your mom. I got love for your brother. You know, I got love for your family. I don't want to have to take it that deep. I think as men, we should be able to address this situation and, deal with it as men in the aspect of, hey man, all you had to do was apologize. I still probably would have kept you at a distance for some time, but all you got to do is apologize. So his brother, is like, oh man, man, big bro been going through some things and everything, man. He done fell up on hard times and this, that, and that. I'm like, nigga, ain't we all going through something? So I'm sitting up here like, hey bro, I understand all that, but it still don't excuse what he did. And the fact that he's unwilling to apologize, I don't know if I can sit up there and consider him friendly anymore. Because now you coming across as a, what's the word I'm looking for? An adversary, a combatant, a nigga that stepped on my toes. And I try to never argue intent with a person because it don't matter what you intended to do. What matters is what you did. In my eyes. Whether it was by mistake or on purpose. So with that being the case, I'm just trying to, collect my thoughts. I was heartbroken. I felt betrayed. And just trying to wrap my head around this situation. Now, we to the point to where, like I said, I only been back home for like 7-8 months. Within that short amount of time, you done already weirded out my wife. She from Seattle. She ain't used to you ghetto bird ass niggas out here. I know where I'm at. And I know at times you niggas be out of pocket. Y'all niggas get weird. But nevertheless, I'm really just trying to handle it like a gentleman as much as I can. But I start to identify that, unfortunately, bitch niggas is gonna be bitch niggas. So I told the younger brother, hey bro, I'll try to see if this is repairable when I'm ready to try to repair it. And violence isn't going to be my first go-to. Because normally I slap fire out of a nigga. Beat a nigga up like I'm the Rock. Look at my eyes. Am I lying? So I tell the little brother, hey bro, look. Me and you, we cool. You ain't do nothing to offend me. You ain't step on my toes. You ain't try to show my wife your dick. And then this right here is where it get even weirder, right? The older brother, like I say, he the one that offended. When he was calling me and blowing my phone up and blowing my phone up and blowing my phone up, because like I said, it got to the point to where, nigga, I'm starting to really get upset and irritated, my nigga, and I'm a fuck around and say some shit to you, my nigga, that I can't take back. And I'm trying not to do that. Because like I said, hey man, I got love for you. This nigga gonna say, hey man, ain't nobody trying to fuck your wife. Cuz I never said that you was. I just asked why did you do what you did? But the fact that you sit up there and said ain't nobody trying to fuck your wife lets me know that that shit's on your mind. So clearly you was thinking about it. You done already said some weird shit to me and I was like, all right, I'm gonna let that shit slide. I ain't tripping my nigga shit, you know. Okay. You know my wife pretty. All right, cool. You feel me? One day this nigga gonna call me one morning. I was like, hey man, your wife fine than a motherfucker. I'm like, nigga, I know. That's why I got her. Your motherfucking pit bull puppy face looking ass motherfucking baby mama. Fat hoe. I'm like, bro, I already know, my nigga. I got things that you don't have. But the reason why I got the things that you don't have is because I'm not a dope head. I don't do coke. I don't pop pills. I don't live with my mama. I have my own car. And I'm about to get another one. So I'm sitting up here like, I'm like, hey bro, look, I get it. You feel me? You going through some things, but you can't go through those things at my expense. It can't be no big you, little me. I've been a boss. I have my own business. I have my own LLC. I have a product line. So I'm like, nah, bro, I done took the time out to invest in myself. So when you come over and you see the fruits of my labor, and I sit up there and I tell you, hey, bro, you can't be doing coke and shit like that over here. Don't be trying to trap out of my house. Like, you wanna sell your essential products or whatever. All right, cool, do that. Just don't do that shit here. I got kids, bro. I got a wife. I got young kids at that. That's not that's not who I show them that I am. So why you think I would allow for you to be that in my home? I don't understand the audacity that people have nowadays because they don't make good decisions and choices for themselves. Mind blowing. But I just wanted to share that story because I don't know how it's gonna end. Just to be real, I don't know how it's gonna end. Maybe we gotta run the fair one. I'm with it. I love fighting. I'm with it. But I already know what the outcome gonna be. I'm like 37-1. Bro, you gonna get hurt over here. But you feel me? I'm finna upload this, man, post it, man, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments of what I should and shouldn't do. Because I know what I want to do, but y'all just let me know. You feel me? Tap in with your boy, Memphis Ken, aka Mr. Cutwell, aka In Town Ken, aka A Better Guy. And I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.